Welcome back to Coffee Morning Laughter.
Morning.
It's your girl, she. Okay, so we're back, and it's another day, another dollar. My God, it's so hot in London right now. Well, it's been so hot in London. So, how is it going for you?
It's going okay. Yeah, it's just this weather. Like, literally, the nights are, I don't want to say hell, because we're believers, and that's not where we're trying to get to. But,
Some of us.
it's been crazy hot. So, yeah, it's been a lot with the kids. But hey ho, we're here, we move.
As the people them say.
Yeah.
No, so guys, honestly, we're back, and it's another week, another podcast. So, let the people them know.
So, for those of us in England, a few weeks ago, it came out that Sir Mo Farah, who is one of England's most decorated athletes within the running field, he basically disclosed that he was trafficked into London or England as a child, and he actually took someone's identity. So his real name isn't Mohammed Farah.
Yeah, it's Hassan Hussein something.
I'll get the correct name.
Yeah.
But
Shell's got her phone with her.
I do.
Yeah, because she doesn't really take this seriously.
Ignore Sheila.
She's just texting her friends, even though
Yeah,
her friend is here.
So Sir Mo Farah, basically, his real name isn't Mo Farah. It's actually Hussein Abdi Kahin.
Hussein.
Yeah,
Well, like Hussein.
Sir Hussein.
Right. Okay, interesting. Now, I've had a thought about this, and when the post was brought to my attention, I'll be honest, Macrina sent me that post.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she sent me that post, and she says, "Here's one for your podcast."
Thanks, sis.
Yeah, and I was just like, "Oh, let me have a look at it." So I looked at it, and obviously the story was still developing at the time.
Yeah.
So by the time we got to the end of that week, it was like it was everywhere. But there was two things that I picked up from here. Firstly, this is nothing new.
Exactly.
Yeah, this ain't nothing. It might be new to maybe white people or non-white.
Okay.
Yeah, I might say it might be new. It might be a new concept thing to white people that are English or have been born here. Yeah, but I don't think it's new to foreigners.
I would say some foreigners, because I would say that, I don't want to say no names, but some people in my circle, they didn't have a clue and they were black. Yeah?
Yeah, but are they English black or
No,
British black?
they're like, they're Caribbean black.
Yeah, but they're not coming from, remember, they're not coming from like war-torn countries.
Yes, I think Africans, we know about
Africans,
this.
Asians, you all know. Don't pretend. Yeah, like the Rishis of this world.
We're so shocked. Oh my goodness, Hussein.
Yeah, the Patels and the Rishis of this world, you know what's up. Because you know how some of your parents got here. Yeah. So it's not, when I heard it, well, first of all, there was mixed comments. We're going to get to the serious parts of it, yeah? And there'll still be some jokes in there. When I first heard it, I was like, who asked you to come and tell your story here?
Chill out.
I'm being honest, because everybody knows me on this podcast, Me, I'm going to talk. One thing I'm going to do is, I'm going to talk my mind.
Okay.
And I'm going to talk for what other people are thinking, but don't want to say. Then my mum came round, and she was like, have you seen this thing on the news about this guy, Mohammed? She calls him Mohammed, she doesn't call him Sir. Yeah, she's like, Sir, what? Mohammed, yeah? I said, Mum, first of all, it's Mo, not Mohammed. Yeah. But then she was like, my mum, I didn't even say nothing to her, and she was like, well, who asked him to come and tell his own story?
You lot didn't, I think he was being bribed.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously we got to the end of it, and I was like, Mum, I think somebody's actually trying
100%.
Yeah,
Someone in the news got hold of the story.
Yeah. My mum was like, what a wicked world. Yeah, because it's like, somebody now, my mum said to me, but it was a family member.
Could potentially be.
Because it's like, it'll be your own that will bring you down.
I think they would have sold the story to the news, someone like The Sun or the Daily Mail or some trashy newspaper.
Yeah.
And it's, the reporters have said, listen, we're going to come out. What do you have to say? Yeah. So he's like, do you know what? It's better that you tell your own story.
Yeah, the PA came through. His PA team came through. Well done. When I get rich and famous and become, what would I become? If he's a Sir, I'm a...
Dame
Sheila.
Dame Sheila.
And I didn't say damn Sheila. I said Dame Sheila.
Dame Sheila.
Yeah. But I'll be saying that, publicist, please come and cover my back. Yeah. Let me tell the story. Yeah.
You don't want Prince Andrews though?
Who's Prince Andrew?
the alleged paedophile prince.
No, listen.
He's still working, yeah? So his publicist
who?
is the Queen, innit?
Oh, it's his mum though, innit?
Yeah,
She works for the firm. But I don't know. Yeah, I just thought. So I hear what Mo's saying. Yeah. So sir, sorry, do I have to call him sir?
Ideally we should, but we don't have to. It's our show, innit?
This is mad. Like. Yeah, this.
He's not my sir.
It's not my sir. Like, come on, man, sir. Like, I rate you, Mo. Well done.
She just did the M-bot for those that didn't see it.
Yeah, I like you, Mo, man. You're a nice dude. Got nice skin still. But here's what it is. First things that came out to me was like, right, I do remember these stories. Yeah, and obviously the field that we're working, we get a lot of asylum seekers.
All the time. Unaccompanied asylum seekers.
Minors, yeah. But I think I wrote this, and when I was reflecting upon this whole session, I was like, a lot of kids or a lot of people have been through those channels, have travelled to England through those channels. And I'm saying that a lot of people, I'm going to speak from African, because I'm African, yeah. I haven't got anybody here that's from the Asian community to kind of tell me how the Asians do it, but I can tell you how Africans do it. And now, guys, before you start saying, she's revealing our secrets, it's not that kind of podcast. Yeah, please don't come for me. You're still gonna be able.
I always think she's gonna say something serious. Revealing our secrets.
Yeah, but please, you'll still be able to get your people them into the country, without anything being disclosed too tough, And I want you to know that I've got a British passport. So, so what happens is, people journey from their countries of origin.
Yeah.
Now, the reasons are usually parents want to
better life
for them. Parents want them to have more opportunities. Parents can't afford to look after them. And a lot of parents end up giving their kids to strangers. And hoping that the stranger will take care of your child, or an extended family member, a long arm to the family. But Moy was quite lucky. Because I think, even though he described it to be traumatic for himself, and I do think it was traumatic, and the fact that he was separated from his mum. Did you see in that documentary that they brought a picture of his mum back home in Somaliland?
I haven't seen it, no.
Yeah, the mum came back home from Somalia. Well, the camera people went to Somaliland, and the mum was sitting underneath this tree, saying what she did and how the first time she heard from him, etc., etc. Real talk though, and because I don't like to be fake. I was looking at her and I said, your son's a millionaire, yeah? You're not living on that dry land. Come on, Michelle, yeah? Let's not be crazy out here.
You think, yeah? I don't know, is he a millionaire? Let's see his net worth.
Yeah, he is a millionaire, yeah, with all his medals. Do you think he can't build a house for his mum properly?
He should be.
Yeah, because people that don't even have a lot of money, that have been here doing cleaning jobs, are sending money back, yeah? And then
around 4 million he's worth, isn't it?
4 million. Your mum's not gonna be living on
in no mud hut.
In no mud hut like in Somaliland. Like, let's be real. And I love Somalians. Peace out.
Shills.
Yeah. Wallahi. Wallahi, yeah. But,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I just thought to myself, that was a bit of a PA stunt. That picture, because it's like
trying to tug on the heartstrings, like
Mo,
suffering woman. You ain't suffering no more, babes.
Yeah, that ain't your life anymore. Yeah, even if you have. And what was interesting was his parents apparently, and his siblings or whatever, from the documentary, hadn't ever come to the UK.
Oh really?
Yeah, and that's okay, because that's okay.
Why not though? Why not? What do you mean?
Well, this is what I'm trying to say to you. I don't know how true that is, but that's what they told us. But why would you need to when now your son's a millionaire? Michelle, I know you're now in London, and England, and you're tied to English people. Yeah.
You're an idiot, shit.
I'm just saying, But remember when you first went to Nigeria when you were younger? Yeah. And you were just like, no, I love it here.
I loved it.
Yeah. Oh. So imagine if you had money. Not saying she hasn't got money, but real money, like Moy's money. Yeah. Are you going to be here? Would you want, even our parents, they always say they want to go back home.
It's different, no, because I was born here. She was born and lived there.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bit different.
What it is though, I was thinking about it and I'm like, okay, so your mum's on this thing, she's talking about your life and the reasons why you went. I believe the reasons why he went, because it's not the first time I've had that story. But what I want to dwell on is because some people might have heard it and they would have been like, Mo, you need to come off. Yeah. You need to come off. You need to be telling people that now that first of all, you've been lying to us. Who are you? And so, by the way, do we still call him Mo or do we now call him Hussein?
He said basically keep it as Mo. He did say keep it as Mo. He's not changing his name. Yeah. His kids are like Farah's and his wife is Mrs. Farah.
So he's still going to keep that same name that is not
his?
Yes,
he's keeping the name.
Right, Tina Turner, innit? Yeah? And like, you know when Tina Turner left Ike and she says, I'm keeping the name. Yeah.
Oh, Ike Turner, yeah.
She said, she asked him, she says, I've got to keep the name.
Yeah, because she'd made that her brand. That's her brand now.
So yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. She's doing the M-bot again.
Yeah.
Shilla, please.
Because if it's Hussein would be like, arms up.
The log H.
I haven't got common sense sometimes. So, let's get into the nitty gritty of it. Let's get serious with it. Kids come over because they have to. Yeah. Parents send their kids over because they have to. There were a few people that opposed the whole thing, saying, well, he's lied about his identity. Should he be stripped of his, is it lordship or knightshood, whatever it is, yeah? And I was kind of like, well, I was in two minds. Don't strip him of it, but nothing happened to him.
So I'm going to say two things, and it's only as you're saying it that it's made me think. I definitely do not think he should be stripped of it because, you know, it's circumstances beyond his control. However, what's the difference between... Okay, well, maybe there is a difference between him lying about what he's done and Will Smith slapping...
Oh, no, there's a big difference. Yeah.
Well,
but what is
some people are saying that they're lying. Sin is sin, no?
No, but what I would say is, that because me, I went to university. Yeah, Michelle was there as well, but she was just there, isn't it?
I wasn't there.
But what I would have used the example in that would have been, what's the difference between him and a normal public user, like a normal public person?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a normal citizen. Because if a normal citizen had lied about their identity and that was found out, they'll be reported
to the Home Office.
Yeah, and possibly deported. And all the new laws that Priti Patel has brought in, is it status that has created the line?
The divide.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Because it's like, if he wasn't decorated, if he wasn't a hero for England, because remember, if they strip him of all those medals, they lose all those medals.
England, Great Britain.
Great Britain doesn't qualify in those little all the races that he's been in.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was favourable to him.
Do you think it's
It goes back to show you, that it's really what you have. Because
and not necessarily...
Exactly. What can you bring to the table? Because it's like, if they strip him of everything, that means England's decorations...
Saying he was a child.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't an adult coming over.
We don't even know if he was really a child.
Oh, Shilla.
I'm just saying.
Shilla.
Haven't you seen that footballer from Nigeria who said
I've seen that footballer from...
But he looked 38.
I don't even think it was 25. It might have been younger. 20.
He said 18, didn't it?
He looked old. He looked like the same age as my granddad. Like, it's so embarrassing.
Old,
It's so embarrassing.
Claiming that an age assessment should have been done, but mine was actually, he was young.
He was in secondary school, isn't it? It was the secondary school that reported him. So he would have done the whole unaccompanied asylum seeker. He would have come into care. Well, he was in care. Fostered, looked after, and then just, they got his status that way.
Yeah. But the thing is, it was because his teacher brought it up to the school about his abuse.
Yeah.
Because the woman who he was living with was making him do housework.
Servitude,
Yeah. What do you call it?
Is it servitude?
Okay.
Where they treated him as a servant, not a house girl.
Yeah, houseboy, boys' quarters.
Well, worse than the boys' quarters, but yeah.
Remember, like Africa, you have the boys' quarters where the helpers sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that England is not big enough for people to be having boys' quarters in the council flats they're given. But guys, and it obviously that's happened, but I don't know, I'm going to take you guys way back, like years ago. What I'm trying to bring through in this podcast is that these things happen, but they happen for a reason. And you've got to be really, really careful. And if you're out there and you work with children and you might be suspicious that this child is like being privately fostered by a family, you might want to ask some questions. Because Mo Farah described what was quite traumatic. He was a houseboy. I don't know if he was beat as well. It was quite abused, like mentally.
Emotionally and mentally.
And
the fact that when he arrived, he was given the details of a family member, but then the woman who trafficked him, she literally ripped up the contact details.
What?
So his mum was like, okay, take my son, give him to this auntie or uncle, whoever.
Yeah.
Here's their details.
Yeah.
What he said that as soon as he arrived in England,
Yeah.
the piece of paper that these details were ripped him on,
Yeah.
like a lady ripped them up and was like, these details gone. Ping, 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 ping.
Yeah.
And that's,
That was it.
that was it.
And he was now living wherever he was living.
You're mine now, basically. Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. So she was passing him off as her own son.
I believe so.
Because that's how it works, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you've got to take him to the school, you've got to register him to the GP, and it's just like, this is my son, he's just come over, blah, blah, blah. All that happens, yeah, pardon me. So, even though my story is sad, I'm not going to dispute that, there's been stories that haven't been so colourful, or the endings haven't been so colourful. Let's talk about Victoria Kalimbe.
Yeah.
Now, this thing about we made mention of private fostering. Yeah, I'll tell you now, guys. Yeah, for our English or listeners or people that haven't been from outside countries. Yeah, it's not uncommon within the Black and the Asian community for a child to come over from a different country and reside with a family member. Could be your aunt, it could be your uncle, etc., etc. That's not uncommon. But what is understood is sometimes these kids suffer a lot of abuse.
And it's not just like... So I was privately fostered.
Hello.
Yeah, so privately fostered isn't necessarily just with family members.
Yeah.
So my mum was going through some stuff, and then I got sent to live with a family in Stockton-upon-Tees. So so it was a white family. I was there for a little while with a brother.
How long were you there for?
I can't even tell you. All I can tell you is that between the ages of 3 and 6, I was in like 3 different families.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I was in Bristol. I was in 2 different families in Stockton, and then I was with one in Bristol.
How long for?
I can't tell you what, but between 3 and 5. So I didn't start reception, but I came in year 1. So
who was? Well, so where was your mum? Like in London?
My mum was in London, yeah. So my mum was in London, but because she was going through some stuff, she didn't feel she was able to care for me. Yeah. So I think now with the private fostering service, it has to go through the local authority. So social workers become involved. Yeah. But I think back then you could pay someone to look after your child.
Oh wow!
And like a bit like a nanny, but you live with them.
Yeah. So was that like with white families? Or...
Yeah, they were white families. So Stockton-upon-Tees, Bristol. Yeah, it was 3 different families.
But you know what? I've seen there was a documentary years ago. Yeah, and if I can find it for references on this podcast, that spoke about there was a time where like in 1980s.
Yeah, this was like the late 80s, early 90s.
There was times where a lot of Nigerian families
were
having their kids live with white people. Yeah. For various reasons. I saw that a lot and outside the country. Yep. So I have seen a documentary like that. Well, it's why you got to be Ugandan, isn't it? But no, I have seen that, and so private fostering isn't a new thing.
No, it's been going on for years and years and years. But what England have done is they've regulated it, so they've called it what it is: private fostering. Following
Victoria Kalimbe.
Yeah. So Victoria Kalimbe was a young girl who sadly...
She was in West Africa, innit?
Somewhere in West Africa.
Yeah, I don't think she was Nigerian. I think she was Senegal or something. It was West African. Michelle's just going to look up on it. Yeah, she was a young girl that...
I think Congolese.
Yeah, Congo, yeah?
Yeah, Congolese. She was... Ivory Coast, yeah. So she was actually cared for by her great aunt and her great aunt's partner. Yeah. And they... When I say cared for, that is definitely the wrong word. Because they killed her. They tortured her.
They put her in ice cold water.
Yeah,
they didn't feed her.
Emotionally, physically.
Yeah, they abused
her. They thought she was a witch. Yeah. It was just terrible. Yeah. So her death, I think following her death, and I think with that, she was going to school, but then she wasn't seen in school for many, many weeks, and nobody really chased it up. But people knew she weren't living with her family. Yeah. But and that's why they then regulated it. Actually, all these people, you can't just be sending people to live with potential strangers or even like extended family members without it being.
We need to know, because after 27 days of the child being in the care of this family, or whoever they are with, it needs to now come to local authority, because then we need to regulate it. Because if it's regulated, the tragedy of Victoria Kalimbe is avoided.
Ideally.
But even like the experience that Mo spoke about, is also avoided.
Yeah.
Because that child, even though it's private fostering, we still have to go in like at least.
They have access to us, and we say we're talking about social workers.
Yeah, we still have to go in and actually say, how is this child doing? The school is aware that they're not living with their parents or whatever, they're being looked after, so they have access to counselling or independent sessions on their own that they can talk about what their experience is to ensure that they're not being abused.
Yeah.
So obviously, when Mo talks about he had to cook, he was literally treated differently from every single child in that household.
He was a servant. He's like a cleaner, a cook. So it's not just like my 11-year-old cooks. Doesn't mean like she's cooking day and night. She's waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to cook people dinner. She's really not. It's more than just your standard things that we would expect a child to do in terms of growing up and giving them a bit of independence. But there was a lot of, being made to like clean the toilets. Like there's just things that they ask children that you shouldn't ask children to do. When you're taken away from their childhood. So it's, there was a lot more to it than just, being your standard house help. It must have been very, very difficult in terms of the loss and the trauma. We're talking about the abuse that he suffered whilst he was there. But even that journey to England, did he talk about how many countries he stopped by in and kind of what that looked like?
I don't think he did. I don't think he did, or if he did, I might have not paid that much attention to it. Because I know some people do stop off at different countries. With what I did notice with the Mo thing was the separation from him and his mum and his siblings. Because remember, his dad died
when he was young.
When he was young, and it was through a war. His dad had died from what he relayed to us. And so imagine you've left your family behind, and this is why we have to be kind. Because I know some people will be like, "Oh, this is England. Get out. You're a traveller or whatever, whatever legal immigrant." But some people don't have a choice. And some people don't have a choice. If they had choices, they would want to be in their countries of birth or where their parents are.
They'd want to be with their family.
Yeah, because it's like people normally say, well, where your parent is or where your family is, that's home. Yeah. So when he's come over, he's on his own. The trauma he's experienced, the nightmares, the being scared of the family that he's in, it all goes on. Yeah.
The unknown.
And back in those days, the level of care that's being afforded to people now in social services or to young kids, it wasn't there.
No.
Yeah. We've come such a long way in our journey of caring about people's mental health, the impact. We use the word impact a lot, but that's what you're always thinking about when you're talking about mental health or things that have happened. Yeah.
Because that's what I keep saying. When we look at society now and all the issues that we have with society now, we have to go back to the cause, and the cause is 110% trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all these stabbings, all the mental health, all the robbery,
dysfunctionality,
all the dysfunctional, all the crime. If you strip it all back, you hear some of the stories of the people that are doing these crimes. You will understand that it's trauma, loss, abuse. There's something there, and it's not to, I hate when people say, "Oh, you're using it as an excuse." It's not an excuse. It's what it is. Yeah, there's cause and effect.
I agree with you, but Mo didn't go around stabbing people.
He didn't, but because we don't know how much. Number one, people do all things differently. Number one. Number two, we don't know what kind of level. Obviously, he seemed like he had what I like to call in social work one safe adult.
Yeah.
If you can try and give every child, the teacher that saved him, the fact that he had someone that listened to him. Yeah. Imagine if he had told them stories before, but nobody had even heard. Nobody had just thought, actually, let me just check this out. Let me just make that referral. Yeah. The fact that someone did that for him, he is actually one of the lucky ones. Victoria Climbier, she wasn't lucky.
She wasn't lucky at all. Honestly, she wasn't lucky at all because, her teachers were just not on job.
No, they weren't. There would have been scars. There would have been things that could have been seen and heard if they'd asked the right questions. And it's not to blame because, obviously, we work in social care, and it's not for us to be saying, it was the social worker's fault, it was the teacher's fault. Parents kill children
All the time.
All the time. It's not the social worker that killed the child. It's not the teacher. It's not the doctor. It's not the hospital staff. It's the parent. You know, so the news, all the people that like to talk on social media, that's what they need to remember. Like, literally, a social worker going in or out. Yes, we have a job to do. But again, as a parent, it's your job, ideally, not to kill your child. Yeah. Literally. So if parents could just do that one job, you know, it would save a lot of work from our side, you know?
Honestly, but don't get me out of a job because I still like doing my job.
Shit up. I still love my job and I need the money and I've got holidays to pay for.
Yeah. No, like, legit, I do agree with you. But I still have questions on around... Okay, because I like to be controversial and I'm going to be, yeah. I'm not going to hold back because Michelle wants me to always be polite and I just can't, yeah. If Mo Farah, I've said this already before, but Michelle kind of like skipped my question. If he wasn't famous, yeah, do you think he should be deported? Yes or no?
No.
Yeah. So do you think like this, when everyone's like made it like, oh no, it's all right, you know, everyone said, oh, it's so brave that he's come to talk about it.
He was a child. Deported where?
Back home.
Where? How long?
Can we not use his name now? So are we gonna keep his name? So where's the real Mo?
They found the real Mo.
Whoa, where is it?
They interviewed the real Mo. They found the real Mo. And this is what questioned me a little bit.
The real Mo? Ilford. I should have said Woolwich, really.
Oh, can I take this mic off her, please?
Where does it live?
They were doing video times. I don't want to assume and say he's still in Somalia, but they definitely tracked down a Mohammed Farah. And they interviewed him. Yeah, Mo interviewed him and he apologised.
Yeah.
And he said that he'd always
Mo's so sweet, though.
Yeah, he said he'd always wondered what happened to the real Mohammed Farah.
I'm not being funny or anything, yeah. I've never heard anybody else who's coming to the country in this way say that. So.
Yeah. Chill out.
But you know when people don't have PA training, innit?
I've had enough of you.
No, I'm just saying, yeah.
Wow.
So basically, guys, obviously, this whole episode is about immigration, refugees, da-da-da-da-da. So you'd want to know what refugees are, or asylum seekers, yeah? If you want to know about it, just Google it. But...
Google is your friend.
Yeah, for the purpose of the podcast, yeah, and the conversation is a refugee or an asylum seeker is somebody that flees their own country or place of birth or where they live due to wars and other factors, yeah, that endanger their life, basically. So if you want to Google it, but we'll have a definition up. So I come to the point where we're saying that the UK is now in a place where they're turning away asylum seekers and refugees.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're turning them back to different places. What does that look like for the future of these people that are meant to be fleeing into the UK for a place of safety? We've talked about the Euro channel, whatever you lot call it.
The crossing.
Yeah, the crossing. Everything's changed so much, and people still need help. And you know, the Western world is known for going to create war in different places. So when people come into your country for refuge, for asylum,
from a war potentially that you've started,
what are we doing? What are you guys doing here? Because, you know, I don't know if Mo's story was being told by a normal person that didn't have celebrity status.
What, you think people saying ship him back?
Yeah,
ship him back.
Absolutely. Not people in South London though, because I saw how they went hard for that man who was being deported. Yeah, that day. There was an African man that was being deported from South London. Yeah, like I gotta rate these new age whites, you know. Yeah,
allies. Oh my god.
No, new age whites. Yeah, those trendy ones. What do they call them? Hipsters.
The hipsters.
Yeah. No. They stand for what they stand for, yeah?
They call us their allies, so they are allies. People that stand with you, but they're not...
Allies.
Allies.
Yeah. No, so these allies, yeah, that stand with us, yeah, they did a job on that South London. The police came with, is it the bully vans?
Yeah.
To come
to deport one man.
To deport one man, yeah.
To what country?
Let me tell you, I don't even know. You know when they were saying that take people back to Rwanda?
Okay, yeah, they were going to put him on there.
Yeah, they were going to put them... I'm telling you now, yeah, I have never seen so many... And you know what, yeah? I'm going to get to some people of certain communities, yeah? Like, why is it that it's people from different communities that support your community more than you?
Because sometimes we have our own struggles to face.
No, sister girl. Yeah,
Were you there, Sheila?
Well, for that?
Yeah.
If I had known about it, I would have been there.
At you.
Yeah, you're looking at me. Yeah.
You've got a nail appointment to do. You've got a hair appointment to do.
Nah.
Go and wash that car of yours.
No, do you know what, yeah? The truth of the matter is, yeah, it even challenged me.
Yeah.
Real talk. Because I'm like, you know what, yeah? Like, if it's... And I'm not talking about something that's a publicity stunt, Black Lives Matters, none of that. It's not even an organisation. It's just people in the community saying, this person is part of our community.
It's not fair.
It's not fair. He's lived here for all this time. He's contributed to the community. He's a good person. Why should you send him back to somewhere that he's fled? Yeah. And it's kind of like they got together and they did something. Yeah. But Sir Mo comes out and says, I've been lying all this time. Even the British passport that he gave me shouldn't even be my name. So.
But it doesn't.
Celebrity! Celebrity! Mo,
No,
I love
no,
you.
no.
Mo, I love you. Mo, I love you.
I don't. He was 9 years old. So he was 9 years old, yeah?
I've seen kids being deported.
No, they can't deport kids. They can't deport kids. That's the issue. They can't. Unaccompanied asylum seekers, they can't deport you as a
Let me tell
child.
you something, yeah. I don't know how long you haven't been on this side of the field for, yeah. Do you know what, yeah? We've had families where they've said, well, and you know, obviously when kids are born now, if your parents ain't been born here, you're not automatically given.
Yep, that's true. Yeah.
So you can still be said to go home.
Yeah.
Say something to me, Michelle, because you know I do go to work. I know you look. Due to what you lot believe, yeah, I do actually go to work and I do put my head in
all the holidays.
Yeah, I do actually have a job and I do actually do it.
It's a difficult one, you know, because I'm for. I just think, obviously, we're immigrants. Me and you.
I'm definitely an immigrant. I remember when I came to the Heathrow Airport, guys. Yeah, let me tell you something.
Oh, were you born in UG?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a proper immigrant.
I'm a proper immigrant, and I say it loud and proud. Yeah.
Hey.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, and I remember going to that, town hall and swearing to the Queen and saying I'll be here for the country. Yeah. Literally, I came here when I was 4.
So you got naturalised and all that stuff.
Yeah. It wasn't hard, isn't it? It's just like, unlike some people that I've known that have been doing that naturalised test for about God knows how many years. Yeah. Oh, guys, we're in the struggle.
Leave your people alone,
we're in the struggle together. But the truth of the matter is, yeah, I do remember when my mum came to London, all you needed was a passport.
Yeah.
When my mum came to the UK, yeah, you just needed a passport. You didn't even need a visa. Yeah. You needed a passport, and that was like years and years ago. Yeah. So things have obviously changed and progressed. Yeah. And I understand it to keep certain things out of the country, etc., etc. And I think, especially after 9/11, that didn't help the situation. People became a little bit more closed. It just changed the whole atmosphere.
Everything.
Yeah, that's the honest truth here. And you don't blame people for wanting to protect their land.
Yeah,
and it's their land, so they can do what they want to do. So it's kind of like, okay, cool. But I do remember coming through, like when you said you was adopted to different families or privately fostered. Like I do remember coming to the country. And if you know my mum, she's a lot more fairer than me. Yeah. In terms of like complexion. Yeah. And my sister carries my mum's colour. Yeah. So it's kind of like when I was 3 when my mum left Uganda. So we were away for 1 year. We were apart for 1 year. And obviously I was with my mum's sisters and my nan, so it wasn't like, and my sister, so it wasn't like, and my brother of course, yeah. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm out in Africa alone. I was looked after. But literally my mum couldn't have it more than a year without us coming over.
The children, yeah.
So then it was kind of like we walked through my sister was older. I came with a couple of my cousins. We all came together. And then we came through the airport. They told my sister, this is what you've got to tell them and show the people the thing. So obviously she's clever, innit? She knew she spoke English because she went to a private school. All of us are just like this. Yeah, looking. Honestly, guys, I promise you, I don't even think I had like, when your teeth fall out at that age, like I had like veins, like I only had like 2 teeth coming out, and I was like this. And then my mum came, from memory, I do remember this. My mum came and I said to my sister was really happy she see mummy and my brother, and I said to them, "Who are you not smiling at?" Because I couldn't remember my mum because I was so little. And it was like, and I know people are saying about 3 years old. No, but I was
in a child. 3 years, like a lifetime.
I was like, who's that woman that you're smiling at? And my sister was like, that's mummy. That's mum. Yeah. And I was like, oh. And I remember that drive from Heathrow. My mum's brethren, Uncle Elias, rest his soul, came to pick us up. And they gave me digestive biscuit. Yeah.
And that's where the love started.
Give me that chocolate McVitie's digest. I said, "Wow, this is how I'm eating."
I've arrived.
Yeah. And that's my earliest memory of coming into the UK. But luckily for me, it wasn't traumatic.
Yeah, you just had a straight flight.
We just had a straight flight. We came through. I think they interviewed us, or interviewed my sister, and said, "Who you going to meet?" Blah blah blah. My sister was like, "We're going to meet our mum." She was waiting on the other side.
Yeah.
Boom boom boom. That was it.
That was it.
Yeah. A couple of, and then after that, about a year later, indefinite to remain in the country. Boom boom boom. That's it. Yeah. And that was it. And that was my life. It was simple, but other people haven't had it that way.
Because you need money for that. Your mum would have needed money for that.
Of course. One day I'll tell you the story.
Yeah.
You need money for it.
But that's what I'm trying to say. So for the people that have to go about it the way that maybe Sir Mo did, it's because he didn't have the money.
Yeah. Or the family members that were already
living
here.
That were here, the connection or something. Yeah.
Because a lot of my family was residing
already
here. Yeah, like literally a lot of my family, like Aunt Mary, all like Auntie Joy, Uncle David. He got fed up of the UK and they said, "I'm going back to Uganda." This was years ago. Yeah. Like this was even like he left like in the 90s. I said, "Oh, I don't like it here.
It's too cold."
Yeah, he just said, he'd done his thing, met his wife, and he said, "Oh, let's go back to Uganda." That was it. But it is a different story for a lot of people, and a lot of people, listen to this podcast. You might remember how you came into the country. Yeah. No, but I do know people that came here when they were a little bit older as well.
Yeah.
And that getting into the system.
I knew somebody. Yeah.
An ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, basically. His birthday. No, let me tell you, it's so.
He looked 30, but his birthday.
No. It was so silly, yeah. It's like his birthday was basically April the 1st.
Yeah.
But when he did his application on his visa, they put April the 4th.
Yeah.
By accident, 1st and 4th sound alike. So I think the way he pronounced it.
How do they pronounce it from there?
Like 1st and 4th, I don't know.
No, like, give me a Nigerian accent.
April.
Foot. Oh,
April
foot.
Yeah, so April. He must have said April 1st. He must have April 1st, but they even April 4th. Yeah. So either way,
April 1st.
He didn't realise until when he got here, and it was like, crap, like my birthday. He says, but so now his birthday he was born on April the 1st, 1980 something, or 1970 something. But now he has to celebrate his birthday he changed his birthday to April the 4th.
Listen,
because they got it wrong on his visa.
You got to do what you got to do on the passport.
And that's it. And then because it was wrong on the visa, it was wrong on the passport. And to then go and now say, "No, go and change my birthday." Yeah. The stress that would have been, the wahala that would have been.
You got to send back.
Yeah, he was just like, "No, let me just say, just change his birthday to April the 4th.
You know what? Yeah, a lot of people actually, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to say it now, yeah. I've seen a lot of people that have actually changed their birth dates. Yeah. It's like they bring the ages down.
Yeah,
like
to get them a couple of years.
To get them a couple of years in, because like this, to come into the country as a child is easier than to come in as an adult. Yeah. Because when you I remember in school, there was a guy in school. I'm not gonna say his name, but those who went to our school, you knew who I'm talking about. Had a gap tooth. Yeah. Yeah. The guy was massive. He was Nigerian, yes. Yeah. But he was massive. I was like, can this sports...
You're not 14.
No, he wasn't. I don't care what anybody said, yeah. On sports day, the guy had fully built body.
Really?
Running past all of us like, what? He
Breathing.
was... And because it was like, nobody even went to primary school with you to certify that you was in primary school with them.
Yeah.
You just came and you was... And first of all, what gave it away to me, none of us were even allowed to stay out till like 8 o'clock. At those ages, yeah.
And he was out till...
This guy is out till 11.
Just bowling.
Just rolling around with his older friends. I said, really? Yeah. And even the school uniform, he had to get one that was different. No, he just wasn't our age.
But you think, what kind of pressure... So even back to Sir Mo, imagine the pressure of living with that secret. Yeah. What that must have done.
Oh, it's horrible.
For his... I couldn't imagine just living with that, thinking, waiting, especially as he got famous... Is someone going to come and expose me?
This is why we go back to the reason why he spoke.
Yeah.
I think somebody was actually out there because you know what, I'm sure when Mo got married, he knew what his real identity was.
What he didn't tell his wife. He had to tell his wife after they got married. Oh no, I think she knew before. I think, but they said that she was asking questions. She said it didn't really add up, and then he just had to come clean. He said, because she asked the right questions. Good woman, asked the right questions.
This is what I'm telling you guys. Yeah, when somebody's chirping you, you just gotta be like, so where, so what, where, who, how? So
You said,
yeah, who, auntie who, Fatima. No, you said Fatima. Yeah, just ask the right questions. But I do think Mo came out and because somebody was in the background trying to...
People knew.
Yeah, people knew.
So the woman that bought him, she's come out on the news saying basically, I didn't do nothing wrong. I was forced to do it myself. Her son has even spoken up for her saying, that it was, it was an accident, that a third child was meant to come, but then they didn't turn up. And so, they just took Mo instead. But
how old is her son? Was he the same age that he knows this story
no,
so
the
well?
son, when I read it, he was around 33. Yeah. So Mo's 39. At the time that it came out, so a few months ago.
No, but what I'm saying, this son is so confident talking, as if when he was young, he understood all of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Said, in the news, it said her 33-year-old son, so he's 33 now, so he would have been... He's only 7 years younger than Mo.
Well, that's not really Mo, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know if that's his age, so we don't know.
Well...
according to what we know.
According to... Well, I'm hoping he would be honest about that now. If he's told us about his name, why not?
What, so what's the age that we know him as?
39.
That's not the truth then.
You don't think so?
I don't think that's the truth.
Why?
I think he might be a bit younger.
Younger? Older, you mean?
Maybe older, yeah. He could be 43.
You think?
Yeah, and
He's got a baby face though, Mo.
I'm not being funny or anything. I've got a baby face.
I'm not being funny or anything. I don't think you do, babes.
Cheryl, my melanin is popping.
Yes, your melanin is popping.
It shows the hate, guys. Yeah, I know you got your friends that I love.
Nah, that is hilarious.
No, next episode of podcast, low key friends that are haters. Friends that frenemies. Yeah.
Your melanin is popping, but you ain't got no baby face.
I have got a baby face for sure. Anyway,
sure.
guys, let me tell you something. Yeah. The truth of the matter is, a lot of people that are from Africa or Somalia, they look young.
I don't want my husband's family listening to this podcast. I don't want them questioning me.
Don't worry, there won't be.
I don't want them with no questions, please.
You look younger than all of them.
Oi.
Sorry, 15-year-old cousin. I'm so cheeky. No, I love you all, yeah. All the family, all the M family, I love yous, yeah. No, but it is just one of those things, right? I just think, I don't know what the truth is this, but in my little part of it, it's like, in closing, I would want people to, obviously people have been really kind.
Yeah, which is nice.
Which is really, really nice, but I want that same energy
for everyone. Extend it to your neighbours.
Yeah, because some people will be like, oh, he's lying, he should be stripped off of everything. But he had a reason. I'm not saying lying.
He was a child. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
He definitely was a child, yeah.
Plus, if you look at it, if it didn't come, us like people from Britain wouldn't really be winning things. Yeah, so it's kind of like, let's appreciate the gifting.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, his story, I like the fact that he told his story because maybe it gives courage to other people to come forward and tell their stories, So if you feel brave enough and you want to talk about how you got into the country, share it on our socials, drop us an email, drop us an inbox, and let us know what your journey was like coming into the UK. I mean, I've shared mine. Michelle's talked about being privately fostered.
Could be a COC.
Yeah. Michelle's talked about being privately fostered and how do you integrate into the community. I can remember like my first day at school.
Really?
Yeah, it was just like, well,
did you have an accent?
I think so, yeah.
You would have?
Yeah. No, I didn't really talk much, did I?
Oh, because you was young.
Yeah, I was young. I didn't really talk much, so... But I knew how to spell and things like that. But the spelling back home was different from here a little bit. So instead of like C for car, we'll use a K. Obviously. Okay. But I would say I would spell it as I hear it. Yeah. Yeah. But soon after, obviously, the younger you are, the quicker you adopt. Yeah. So it's like older people, and that's why you get grown men that have been here since they were like 16 or 15, and they're greeting you with like "Happy Thursday." Like,
hey.
No, I said happy Thursday. So you get all of that, but yeah, it's just different for everybody, and everybody has a journey. And I guarantee you guys, if people had choices, whether to grow up with their families, or to be in a strange land, alone, they would be choosing to be with their parents their family. Because when you see Mo's documentary and his mum speak about that first phone call she had with him, just to know that he was okay and how he felt, then you understand that this is
wasn't by choice.
Yeah, and people out there will be asking, how can you let your kids go? Trust me, guys, because they want a better future for their kids, and they believe that the Western world is the way forward. Yeah, if only they can see it all. Shell?
Yeah. Well, no, thanks, guys, for listening. Like Shill says, if there is anybody who wants to share their story, please do get in touch. We would love to hear that.
I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from you. I want to know if you are a legal immigrant.
Shut up.
We love you all and see you, Mel. Yeah. So, guys, have a great weekend and come back next week for some more coffee morning laughter.
I say happy Saturday.
Happy, what is it?
Happy Saturday.
Oh, show you. Don't do accent.
Happy Saturday.
Show's actually out of order, you know.
I'm trying to do your Thursday.
Yeah. Show, like, you don't have to do an accent.
Happy Saturday. You can't just add and think that's it, Chills.
Yeah. That's all like my other friends. I don't like guys. Don't do that. Don't do that, guys. It's a little bit racist. All you gotta do is like have a good Saturday, or is it?
You can't just add the O and the and think that's it. But I'm not good and you're not good either.
I'm wicked at a Nigerian accent.
Shills. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What are you saying?
You just sound like the fake aunties.
Oh, that boy.
What's that one? No win, no fee.
Oh my god, yeah, we had an auntie in college in uni, yeah. Guys, that's another story for next time, yeah. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend. No we, no fee.